Actively attending.
That is a quorum, sir.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Councilmember Baranski. She could not make it here tonight.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second to excuse Member Baranski. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda, adds, additions, deletions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Fletcher, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Odell to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, this is item number 5, citizen participation on agenda items. This is the portion of the meeting. If you can't be here for the regular part of the meeting, you can now come and speak on any agenda item. Is there anyone who would like to speak? All right, seeing none. Item number 6, consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve this consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Odell, seconded by Councilmember Fletcher to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving right along. Item 7A, proclamation honoring the 50th anniversary of Scouting America, Fraser Troop 1402. Is there anyone here tonight from Troop 1402?
I could have told my son to be here. He was in Troop 1402, but
All right, well, I'm going to read
We were doing this, so I expected him. He knew we were doing this. I talked to
Okay.
him.
I will read it anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Scouting America Troop 1402 has been in the Fraser area for a very long time. So I'm going to read a proclamation honoring their 50 years in our community. Whereas the education and training of the youth of our community is of utmost concern to the citizens of the City of Fraser. Whereas Scouting America was originally founded as the Boy Scouts of America in 1910 by Mr. William Boyce as an organization whose mission is to prepare young people to make ethical choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. Whereas the Boy Scouts of America was chartered by Congress in 1916 to provide an educational program for boys and young adults. Whereas Scouting America has, in keeping with their mission and charter, trained the youth of America with the values, vision, and goals to become the current and future leaders of this country. Whereas Troop 1402 has been providing this program to the youth of the City of Fraser for 50 years. Whereas in that 50-year history, Troop 1402 has helped educate hundreds of young adults, probably thousands, in the City of Fraser to keep themselves physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Whereas the citizens of the City of Fraser have benefited from the work that these youths have put forth in the form of numerous community service projects. And whereas the members, past and present, of Troop 1402 will gather on August 16th, 2026, to celebrate the occasion of 50 years of continuous service. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council, on behalf of the residents of the City of Fraser, hereby congratulate and thank Troop 1402 for their 50 years of continuous service. And be it further resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Fraser grants best wishes and good luck to Troop 1402 and their continued service to the citizens and community of Fraser. Thank you very much, Troop 1402. You've done some great work in our community, and many of our little libraries and other community service projects by Eagle Scouts have really made a difference. Thank you very much. We will make sure this proclamation gets to the appropriate people. All right, item number 7B, reappointment of Tom Iwaniki to the Fraser Historical Commission. And City Manager, Mr. Iwaniki, he's been on the Historical Commission for a while, correct?
at least one term, if not two.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe two. I think Tom's on the second term.
Yes, he is a fantastic resource. Councilmember Shornack.
I would like to make the motion to reappoint Tom to the Hysterical Commission.
Second.
Ed, do you need us? Is it working? Okay.
For once, we weren't in trouble.
All right. We have a motion by Councilmember Shornack to reappoint Tom Iwaniki to the Fraser Historical Commission, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Odell. Any comments by members of council?
No, I just want to thank him for his service because he has been doing an excellent job along with everybody else. And him and his wife Marty have really helped move the commission forward. I've seen a lot of improvements since they've been there.
Yeah, I'll say much of the same. Actually, over this past weekend, Tom organized, helped spearhead the organization of a reading of the Declaration of Independence for the 250th anniversary of the country, and it was great. And I know he's taken a lot of courses with like little museums, or how to better curate a little museum and attract more visitors. And he's been very active in improving the commission.
I agree, and he's also been digitizing a lot of our paper records, historical paper records as well, to create a permanent history. So, any other comments? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Welcome back, Tom. Thank you for your service. Item number 7C, Water Meter Replacement Program Recommendation of Award. City Manager, you want to lead us off on what we're talking about here tonight?
Well, we went out to bids for water meter replacement, and it's been an extensive project, and fortunately, the engineers, DPW, have worked together, and they do have a recommendation tonight. Ashley will lead a presentation to discuss their findings.
Okay.
The agenda item is to request that council begin negotiations to
Uh-oh. Testing, testing. Bueller? Bueller?
All right. This agenda item is to request that council begin negotiations to enter a contract for the water meter replacement program. The program is going to include the replacement of all water meters in the city. It will prioritize replacing commercial meters first, and then moving on to residential meters once commercials are completed. Excuse me. The project went out for a public bid. 9 bids were received. 2 were rejected. 1 was unsealed and 1 was late. So 7 bids were evaluated by the committee. The committee included staff from DPW, including Rob and Joe, billing with Tanya, and then EW staff with Mike V, myself, and Jacob. 5 bidders were invited for interviews, and then we will discuss the top 4 that came out of those interviews. The city did elect to test several water meters as well in the system in this period to test functionality, billing capabilities, and also the customer use portals as well. So the city currently uses water meters from Ferguson. They were one of the bidders. They were one that was interviewed as well. Ferguson proposed a fixed meter system and also offered the lowest cost solution. The city is currently experiencing long lead times with ordering the new meters, and the customer portal that was presented by Ferguson lacked a lot of functionality and ability for residents and also on the billing side. Core and Main was also interviewed. They did propose 2 different meter options, a fixed system and then also a cellular option. The city tested the cellular option, and they did experience difficulties with reading the meter. It was placed in a meter pit, and there are several throughout the city. There was also some concerns from the billing department with customer support and then also functionality of reading that meter as well. They did have a higher yearly cost as well, so the total project cost was slightly higher than other bids. The other company interviewed was Metron. The city has been testing the meter for about probably 8 months now since when this was written, and has had good functionality and has had received good customer support. They have a very, very extensive customer portal with a lot of options, but the proposal did have high upfront costs with purchasing those water meters. The last bidder that was interviewed was Blue Water Solutions. The city did test one of these meters as well. It had accurate and reliable readings. And then also the customer portal offers a lot of data as well. excuse me, customer support was also very good, and the billing integration into BSNA was good as well. Currently, the city has budgeted $330,000 for this fiscal year to begin this program. Future budget years will likely need an increase to complete the program over 10 years as it was originally presented in the capital improvement plan, or the program will need to be extended, or there are options to accelerate that as well if more money is budgeted each year. So I'd like to open it up for some questions at this time, and then we do have folks here from Blue Water as well. They're going to have a small presentation just on their equipment and also the customer portal as well.
Okay, yeah, I do have some questions. And I just, to be upfront, I've been using Badger for about 7 years, Beacon Badger, and I've been using Metron for 3 years. I'm the enterprise admin for 2 different communities. So I'm familiar with both of those platforms. Now, can you explain the difference between fixed and cellular, and why we're looking at a meter replacement program? Why change the meters? First thing, for the
Sure.
public, why are we changing out all the meters?
So most of the meters in the city are likely original to when the homes were built or meters were installed. So they do lose functionality as they get older to a point that you are now experiencing likely water loss, which is lost income to the city and revenue, just because the meter itself cannot track how much water is being used. So replacing those you're going to likely see increased revenue just from capturing that lost water usage that is currently being used but not necessarily being billed just due to the old age of the meters. And then I'm going to have Jacob explain the difference between the two.
Okay.
Yeah, so the city currently uses a fixed network which utilizes towers that basically the meter reading endpoints connect to the towers, which then the towers connect to the software here at City Hall where the water billing software is used. A cellular network does not need any infrastructure. It uses a cellular network like AT&T or Verizon that one of the positives, like I mentioned, is the no infrastructure. So I've worked with other communities that the future seems to be going cellular as opposed to the fixed network. You have a bad storm or something like that and it knocks out one of your existing fixed towers, there are issues that arise with that. So to me, cellular, using a newer technology with cellular software, the proposal here includes a network that would go with Verizon and AT&T, so big players in the cellular game, and use those networks as the meter reading connectivity.
Okay. What's the benefit of these smarter meters? What is the benefit to the public and the consumer, the person that has the meter that gets the bill based on the meter?
Well, the newer meters are obviously a lot more accurate, so you can get a better data range as a customer for how much water usage you are using. So with the new customer portal, the customer, if they choose to sign up, would be able to see when they're using the most water. It can actually identify what source you're using waters at a certain time of the day. So eventually it would be able to tell you, hey, this was a shower or a sink or a toilet that's running. And also with the new network, the portal would show you water loss, and basically if you have a leaky toilet, it would show a slight uptick in the graph over several hours that you could identify, hey, maybe I have a leak somewhere, maybe I need to get this checked out. So ultimately, as you may know, if you have leaks or something, that would increase your water bill. And some people don't even realize it. So to me, that's one of the main positives as a resident would be to be able to be notified of these leaks as they're happening in real time. You can get notifications and then ultimately try to fix the leak to solve that issue.
Okay. One of the things about 2015, the city replaced, I think, registers or endpoints so that we could go to that fixed network. And it still sticks with me that we were promised in 2015 that right here in this room that we would get leak detect capabilities, and that wasn't true. And I know that these meters offer that capability. And what I mean by leak detect, our current meters only register 748. Every time you use 748 gallons, which is 100 cubic feet, it clicks over one more unit. That's very hard to detect a leak using that. These new meters register either 96 times a day, they take a read, and they collect that data, or in Metron takes 1,444, a read a minute. So you can quickly determine whether there's a leak. And I've worked with many customers where we've determined leaks happen. I called one last week and said, hey, you've got a leak. You're using 3,000 gallons of water a day. And I don't think you want that. And we put the meter in and it immediately indicated that. So the real key to this is it provides better data to the city on the operations side, accuracy, and it also provides the ability of individuals to monitor their own usage. And one leak in a toilet can cost you $100 a month. So I'll pass this to Councilmember Shornack. Had a question?
2 questions, actually. Yeah. One, what section of the city are we working on this time?
We would propose to start with commercial, so that would likely be like the industrial district.
Okay.
You're going to see your
That's
biggest
fine.
return.
Yeah, because they're the bigger, I totally understand that and respect that. They've got the bigger meters and pay the bigger cost, so yeah, absolutely, okay. So that's cool. And then secondarily, is there a cost to the business and or the resident where these meters are being installed? Is there a fixed cost or anything going to them, or is this just a cost the city is taking on?
It wouldn't be any additional cost. They would just see that likely in their typical water and sewer rate. So if those had to change to accompany any additional cost for this, that's where they would see it. But there's no additional like service fee or
Okay.
appointment call or anything.
So basically, this is coming out of our water fund. So this is what we've allocated for improvements, okay.
Yes.
I just want to put that out there for residents and businesses, because I don't want to see a mass amount of people coming here yelling at us because they didn't listen to the fact that they're not, having to pay a fixed cost as far as for the actual meter, like they come to your house, you need to pay $150 to install this. I want people not to freak out about it, so. Okay, that's all the questions I have, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Odell.
So the software makes it easier to detect water leaks, but can it be set up in a way where it sends out a notification or something to the homeowner, if there's something out of the ordinary, or is it just more of a investigative tool if, they've got a really high, bill and they don't see it till a month later? I mean, is there a way to set it up where if there is a leak, it comes to the city or something, say, hey, this one should be called or contacted or something along those lines?
I think Blue Water can speak to that better in their presentation, but there is abilities to notify consumers for various different things, for leaks or for usage above a certain level, or if they, I believe, set it like an out, if you go on vacation and you have usage when you shouldn't, you can set things like that.
Set up their home for alerts or something if there is a leak, that it could be contacted them so they could address it sooner rather than months later. That would be very important for me, looking at that. Okay, thank you.
I can also add that with Ion Water, which is the Beacon product, you can set up, you have to do it as a user. You have to download the app and set up your notifications. And you can notify for continuous flow. So if you have, let's say you have a continuous flow of water over 3 days, it'll send you a notification. If you have high, excessive water use, like when I water my lawn, I get a notice. I get a notice that says you've used, 700 gallons today. So those kind of things happen. That's on both Ion Water and Water Scope. So yes, but the key there is the end user resident needs to set those up for themselves. Otherwise, there's no way to get them to get their notification. So. Any other questions about the basics of the meter? I want to talk about the finance or the cost of it, because I noticed in Mr. Barrett's letter that there's a concern that's highlighted, is that we don't have enough money budgeted in order to do this within a 10-year period, which I think 10 years is a long time anyway to do a meter replacement program. But if we can't get it done in 10 years, and the other thing is, how long are the endpoints that currently in place? How long were those batteries expected to
For the Ferguson ones?
the current meters we have?
I-
They've been in about 10 years, and the batteries are going to start dying.
Probably in the next 5 to 10 years. I
Yeah,
would
so we're going to
anticipate.
see an uptick over the next 5 to 10 years of all these batteries just going dead, which then requires either a manual read or a meter replacement. So I really would like to see how, at $330,000 a year times 10 year, that's 3.3 million. We're under with Blue Water, so with the Badger meters, we're $5.8 million over 20 years. And that includes a fair amount of subscription fees in the 11 through 20 years. But I'd like to know how we're going to get all of the meters installed in 10 years, and what that would entail in terms of budget for our capital, because this is adding quite a bit of money to our capital improvement program.
It is. In the table, there is 2 different breakdowns. There's a total project cost for the 20-year, which is that 5.8, and then for Blue Water, for the first 10 years, it's just under 5. So there is a little bit of a difference. There's just additional costs with those annual fees for the years 11 through 20. But you would likely need to either expedite the program, so shorten the period of installations.
I wouldn't want to go any longer than 10 years. It just seems 15 years, if somebody has a meter and it isn't working right, we want to get that replaced. And we have, you said original meters in like Venetian Village of Venetian Woods
Correct.
from 1960.
Correct.
Okay, so we know those are failing, and when they fail, they slow down, right?
They do.
Yeah. So 15 years out to replace meters in Venetian Village means they'd be there, 75 years? That's a long time for, average life of water meter is 40 years tops?
I would say
And the
less.
new meters are about 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't make things like they used to.
No, but they do provide additional features like the smart metering and it's really about data nowadays. Everybody's watching every penny. And I want to make sure that we give people the tools and we're accurately metering them. So, okay. Let's see. You said Blue Water's here.
Yep, they're here. They're prepared a short presentation.
Do you want to do that now and then we can talk some more?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Jim Thompson, account manager with Blue Water Solutions.
Ryan Eichbrecht, president of Blue Water Solutions.
Talk into the mic, please. You're going to have to share it.
Us.
What's the signal I have to give for the next slide? Well, I guess before that, we are located in Auburn Hills. We're a Michigan-based company. We are the Badger Meter representative for Michigan. We provide parts, but we're also, all the service is done in-house. So we have our own installers doing these projects. The one that was laid out in the RFP, very similar to some other projects that we have going on in this region. The meters that we suggested for the RFP were our E-Series meter. They're an ultrasonic technology. The real fun part is there's no moving parts to wear out. So they don't slow down like a mechanical meter does over time. There's nothing there to grind and wear that way. Paired with the cellular endpoints, as was discussed by the engineers. Benefits there is that you don't have to buy any additional infrastructure or any other parts to get your readings. You buy the meter, you buy the endpoint, and that's the end of your purchases. Meter and endpoint are both equipped with a 20-year battery, and the warranty on both is a 10-year full with years 11 through 20 being prorated. Next slide, please. Our Ion Water portal for customer engagement is owned and built by Badger. It gives them complete ownership and control of it. Next, please.
Next slide.
Thank you. So one of the great things about Ion Water is it gives your customers the same look and feel that you get at City Hall. It's same charts, same information, same graphs. So when a customer has questions about what's going on, it makes for very intelligent, very smooth conversations with them. Next slide, please. Next, please. Here we go. I'm sorry, can you go back one? I think there we go, thank you. So this is a close-up of the online version of Ion Water. It does have iOS and Android capability as well. But there's a lot of information for your customer in this portal. Kind of center of the screen where you have the bar graph, you're looking at a month's worth of daily usage for the customer. They can see their highs and their lows. When you're actively in the portal, you can actually zoom in, see what those volumes are. There's overlays there for temperature and precipitation. Those are your red band and your light blue colored overlay as well. As mentioned, you can set up your own leak alerts. You get quick reference there. You get a green arrow down. That means you used less water these 7 days versus the previous. So you kind of get that quick check. It's not something that you have to be highly trained for. You can do a quick overview and see how you're doing. But the alerts are a terrific thing. It really gives your customer ownership of their water system, and we don't have to wait for an extended period of time to be told that we have a leak. If you have a continuous use of water, you'll know in 24 hours. Customer can set it up to be emailed or to be texted. Their choice, their control on how much water leaks before they're told. I apologize. I should have asked if I'm going too fast. If anybody's got questions, please.
Okay, why don't we go back to that previous slide for just give us up in that upper right-hand corner, what are we seeing there? What does that tell? What would that tell an average customer? That you said it doesn't require a lot of hand-holding to understand, but if you can just explain to them, here's what you can do. I get a lot of calls. My water bill's high. Why is that happening?
Sure.
And with this, what could a user, a customer find out on their own?
So you said top right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the top right is the dual bar graph. It's showing a customer their daily it's a scale, it's a fluctuating scale. It's showing them their daily usage levels 1 week compared to the previous, not week. Recent 7 days compared to previous 7 days. So they can kind of, see that Monday, Tuesday relationship in water. If they're not expecting that they used more water this week compared to last because family didn't come into town and nobody was playing in the water out in the garden, that's kind of a trigger. What's going on here? An opportunity for them to then have a look around their house and see if they have some unintended water use. Same thing next to the bar there. You have the actual values in this case, it's gallons. Last 7 days, previous 7 days, and then their 30-day average. So that's a per day average there. in the upper center.
And then that one is daily below that?
So yes, that graph is set for day. So in this case, it's an old graph, and we're looking at June 2022. So again, floating graph you can see on the left, and you're looking at each day's total on that graph. So it gives them, again, a quick visual of where am I standing? Am I average, or am I having some fluctuations on several of these days?
Okay, so the peak in there in the middle of the month, can I drill down into that, and how far can I drill down?
Down to 15-minute intervals.
Okay, so I can see the flow over the entire day.
Correct.
And I can say, okay, this happened at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or it happened at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, yeah, and you can.
And it can tell me how much I used in that period of time.
Correct, yeah. In the case of City of Fraser, where you guys are measuring in cubic feet, residential meter, we're going to measure down to 0.001 cubic feet. So very high resolution. So trace amounts of a leak, we're going to see it, your customer would see it here. So if they have that intermittent toilet leak in the middle of the night when everybody's tucked in and asleep, we catch it and we reveal it to them. That's how we're able to do such terrific leak detection and notification within 24 hours.
Okay, what else is on this? You said it has a leak detected there. Upper left-hand corner.
Oh, yes, yes. So it tells the customer, starting July 15th, which happens to be that tallest peak in the center, they've had a leak of, they've had hourly usage of a minimum of 2.9 gallons per hour ongoing since that day. So in the case here, provided, well, they don't have leak alert set because that blue button under the 2.9 would not say set leak alert. So this is an example of a customer who signed up for it, but then didn't set up the alerts. So they did a great thing, they just didn't finish.
Do you have online tools for customers to come in and see how to set up their app, like a tutorial or something like that?
We right now, what we've done for most of our customers is supply a single-page instruction sheet, providing a web address and instructions on what you need to be able to sign up. It takes your first two parts. You have to have your account number and your billing zip code. You have that, and you get a prompt saying, verifying who you are based on the city's information from billing. At that point, they're able to create their own username and password to gain access to the portal.
As software, moves forward, this graph doesn't show, but you as a utility now have the option to do push notifications as well. So, God forbid you had I won't use a boil water alert, but
You got to speak into the microphone.
not to use a boil water alert, but if you needed to push notification for boil water, you can through that. If you're in a neighborhood that you're going to be flushing hydrants and the consumer is going to receive cloudy water, you can choose the addresses in that subdivision, and if they are signed up for Ion Water, they will get that push notification letting them know that the utility will be doing work that day in their neighborhood.
Okay. I'll go to the next slide.
So this is, again, Ion Water. This is simply what it looks like in the app form. A lot of the same features, just kind of pared down. You'll see they still have the same ability for alerts to receive. All the push notifications still work. Next slide, please. So here's screenshots of the various screens within the app. Starting from the left, ongoing leak, so they know very quickly if there's a problem or not. And I love that they use the color code as well, orange and yellow for pay attention to this, green for things are looking good. Yeah, as you can see on the left there in the center, the notices, this is what a push notification would look like within the app. And like Ryan said, if you're doing hydrant maintenance, it's something to, it'd be a very helpful thing to pass along. I'm sure a lot of you, well, I know a lot of utilities have those neighborhoods where when they do operations like that, it can cause different things to occur in the water, so. And below that, a quick usage, looking good, you're doing 34% less water this week than last. There's a lot of those kinds of affirmations and just quick
Snapshots.
metrics, I guess, for the customer. Again, there at the bottom, you're comparing, the 7-day period to the other 7-day period. Continuing on, you have that similar bar graph there in the second from the left towards the bottom, where you have blue being, this most recent 7 days, and gray being previous 7 days, and you can see the newest week we have found some sort of a high usage in the home and reduced the overall water usage. There at the bottom, average day for 30 days. Similar there on the third, we're looking at a leak, excuse me, a very quick and easy, how many gallons have you leaked? It will look at somebody's normal usage and determine what was actually leaked. So just anything above your 30-day average, right? Leak alert settings, this is where the customer can make adjustments. So this is a customer where I want to know if I'm using three-quarters of a gallon an hour, over my time period, which is typically 24 hours.
Okay. Next slide.
Next slide, please. We kept it really short. We really wanted to focus on the customer app. That seems to be, it was one of the things that we were notified is kind of a hot button for you all, but if you have additional questions, we'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah, we got another question from Councilmember Shornack.
Yes. So I see, that you have a 10-year full warranty, and then, of course, you said the 10-year prorated. But you said the batteries are supposed to last 20 years. So are those prorated as well, or are those fully guaranteed for the 20 years that they're supposed to last?
So the full / prorated warranty, that is on the batteries as well. So the batteries, it includes the batteries, I guess.
That's the national standard for all manufacturers, 10 and 10.
Yeah, that's not a selling point, though. I mean, everybody can say that, like, well, that's the national average, but that doesn't, I'm not saying, and this isn't against you guys, this isn't just in general. It's like, if you have a warranty, I just believe if you're paying for something, the quality should be there, that you don't have to worry about it being like, well, it's just like, okay, it's like these. We spend $1 million on these stupid pieces of crap that they will warranty for 1 year, right? But let's face it, how often do they actually, they last, but how long do they run good for more than a year? They just don't. And I feel like quality is a big thing to me. And the fact that us as Americans in general, just like now, just kind of like, it just kind of, if you say a battery's going to last 20 years, then you should back it up for 20 years. And I don't care what the standard is, because a standard is just what everybody makes it, right? So I just feel like if you believe in your product and you believe that you have a good product, you should warranty it all the way, especially since the majority of it is a battery, right? That's the main mechanism that you have to really keep track of to utilize our little cell phones and to keep all that information straight. It's a soapbox thing, I realize, but it's just very frustrating to me, because anytime we do anything and we purchase things, I'm always the one asking, like, what's the warranty on this? What's the warranty on this? Like roads. Michigan, perfect example. Warranties on the roads. You just did this road like 2 years ago. It's a piece of garbage already. It's all holy. But is there anything that we can go back on the contractor and said, you didn't do a very good job. You need to come back and fix this, and not make us pay to fix it. I think that's the biggest problem, because like I said, I happen to be in the neighborhood where these meters are like ancient, right? Older than me. And yes, are they starting to fail? Absolutely, because they're ancient, right? but it's still a quality that lasted this long, right? Even if it lasted 40 years, that is still double what the standard is now, and the technology's come so far that really we should be expecting more, not less. So why are we paying way more and getting way less? That goes back to the warranty thing. If your stuff's good, you should back it all the way. That's just my personal feeling, so. Just wanted to ask.
All set?
All set.
Councilmember Higgins.
So if I'm understanding it correctly, they're warranted for 10 years full warranty and then prorated. So if they last for, but they're supposed to last for 20 years. So it lasts for 15 years. And then there's a failure of the battery. You give us the money for a 5-year period back. It's a proration?
Yeah, I forgive me, I don't remember the exact scale, but.
No, that wouldn't be how it is.
How is it?
Because it's a total cost. You divide it, you take out the first 10 years, and then the last 10 years is prorated. So depending on what the total cost would be. So you're prorating it after that point.
Based on years.
Getting a reduced.
Yes,
cost.
you're getting, yeah.
But the idea is that proration would give you back that 5 years that you didn't get, that you should have gotten.
Yeah, the way the prorated warranty works is you get a reduced cost on the replacement unit.
In essence, give you back those 5 years that you,
Correct.
the
Get you
battery
back
is
up and
supposed.
running, yes. You know, when you replace it, you're not getting a replacement that has a 5-year battery. It's
Right. A lower cost to compensate you for those lost 5 years that you should have gotten. So I see what.
But with inflation, is it actually a lower cost?
That's a good point. But I do think that, I mean, obviously battery technology is still an emerging field and it's improving a lot. So this is 20 years, hopefully 20 years from now, when we're doing these again, the batteries have a 40-year life, 50-year life, right? Everything's always improving, especially batteries right now.
hard to say. I suspect that the fact that the batteries match the AWWA standard for water meters life, that's intentional. American Water Works Association is the one who's said a water meter should be a 20-year item. And yes, we absolutely have some that last longer.
Move the mic closer.
They want to hear you. He is our mic Nazi, great guy. Anytime you can't, or we turn these off, he is out here. So, do you see that door open? Panic.
Very good. Yeah, so 20-year warranty matches AWWA standard for the life of a water meter. I used to fight that. I have a utility background. I retired from a different utility before I came and did this. I didn't like it when I started, but I came to understand it. It is a depreciating asset, and when they slow down, it costs the utility money. No offense, you're probably enjoying a reduced consumption, and
I don't mind paying for what I use. Actually, I would prefer it because then I would know when I have a leak instead of just. I'm looking forward to getting a new one. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with getting it replaced. I just believe what you replace something with should be better. And I guess it's going to be better in the sense it's easier, it's more convenient, it has more bells and whistles, yes. But if it has more bells and whistles, then it should function better too, and it should last longer. I mean, I just feel like we're always settling for mediocrity. Like, okay, yeah, okay, it's only going to last this long, even though this lasted this long. You know, I mean, we should be striving to improve and make things last longer instead of being, we're really a throwaway nation. I mean, there's no other way to say it. We are a throwaway nation. Oh, let me just throw this away, get a new one next year. I mean, at a certain point, it's worth fixing things. Sure. And I know certain things you can't fix, but it always burns my bridges when people say, oh, it's a 20-year warranty, but is it really? Or it's this warranty, but is it really? Because there's always something on the back end, a gotcha. And I'm not like against you guys or anything like that. This is nothing personal against your company or anything. It's just in general, it is a pet peeve. That is like a huge pet peeve.
Mayor Pro Tem Odell.
Your local Michigan company, what cities do you have this exact water meter in currently?
doing the service and everything.
Yeah.
Currently active projects in Grand Blanc Township, Bloomfield Township, City of Albion, St. Clair Shores, Watertown Township. Where else am I missing? kind of wrap it. We wrapped up some recently, some
Yeah,
other works.
One that was wrapped up that's close to your community is City of East Point. So we completed a whole project for them.
You replaced all their meters?
Yeah.
With this specific meter?
With
Badger e-coders.
cellular, and they, like your utility, they had assets that weren't aged out yet. So those assets just received the upgraded cellular endpoint. A lot of their assets had the upgraded register to that mechanical meter, so they did not need to replace every single meter. Same with St. Clair Shores. Any assets that aren't aged out just get the cellular endpoint upgrade. So we are able to connect our cellular device to all the other manufacturers' meters.
And then as far as cost of the city, with technology upgrades, obviously you're probably always trying to do better and reinvent. Is there a cost to us as those 20 years go by, when you're updating your software and AI technology, or is that included with everything we're buying today?
When you purchase your software package, you have a one-time fee for that. Your cellular, as you'll see in the RFP, your cellular service units, that doesn't cover just that cellular burst of information out per unit. That also, a piece of that covers, of course, customer service on Badger's side if you were to call Badger Meter. Any upgrades to the software, all of that is covered with those service units. You'll never get a bill in the mail going, hey, we added a push notification now that you can reach out to your residents. Here's that extra cost.
Is there an extra cost for the push notification? No, okay.
It's included. I was just using that for an example because that's something that they've added over the last 2 to 3 years. That is a very recent thing.
And you mentioned customer service, but I mean, their residents are still going to call us first, right? Or do they have the ability to talk to somebody?
Yeah, your customer.
Right, I understand, but you said calling customer service.
Yeah, so for instance, your utility installation crew, your utility billing, if they have questions and they call Badger's customer
Gotcha,
service,
okay.
that piece covers that service.
Okay, I follow you.
Customer service.
All right, thank you.
Let's see, what was I going to ask you? Oh, let's talk about the operations side, because we also wear two hats here. We run a distribution system. I don't, but those guys over in the corner do. What kind of tools, including Tanya, our billing specialist, what tools does Beacon offer to our operations folks? For the people that aren't familiar with the back end and what somebody in DPW, if they want to check on a meter, what are the tools available to them?
Yeah, so we focused tonight just on residential meters. The 2-inch and larger E-Series meters come standard with water pressure sensors and water temperature sensors. That information is DPW facing and billing. It's city facing. Your residents aren't going to see that. That's a tool. Being able to run reports on your water pressure, being able to see when an event took place and the pressure moved up or down. Water temperature is another metric that's extremely useful. Chlorine usage, chlorine demand goes up as temperature rises. You can predict that you're going to have higher chlorine use, for example.
Oh, we don't treat. We're just a distribution. So
Understood, but still managing the system. Low chlorine in an area, for example, requires flushing. Things like that. They're very good metrics.
Okay.
The analytics of the system very quickly can know how much water did our customers purchase on any given day. When you open the Beacon software, those metrics are there. You open it and it tells you how much water's been used or purchased rather in the given time period on your graph. That's information that if you have to mine for it, could take you hours, depending on the size of your system.
Okay. You mentioned retrofitting meters that hadn't aged out. And what is that? Is that like we have Neptunes, right?
Yeah.
And you can put just an endpoint on it?
Yeah, if you're utilizing a Neptune meter that is already using an R900 to get information out to your fixed network system, that means that the register has been programmed for RF mode. So we're able to connect to that meter. Now, you won't get leak detection, you won't get things like that based on what that register is programmed to. As you alluded earlier, if that register is only a 6-dial register, you're still not going to get the leak detection. That's where you need that high resolution. But you will get that read off of that meter.
Okay, you can still read it.
Right.
And so,
Yeah. As long as that meter is RF capable, you're going to get a read off of it.
and now we're still relying on 2 batteries now, not just one. Is that correct?
As far as
Well, your existing register is going to be transmitting an RF signal to your meter. So now, if one of them fails,
yeah, I'm not sure what register you have with Neptune.
I don't either.
Yeah, they do offer a battery operated register, but again, I'm not sure if that's what you use. Even their ARB or Pro Read registers do not use battery.
Okay.
We're able to extract that information.
Okay. I think Ashley mentioned that we do have batteries, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, your
Yep.
current system.
so this over 10 years or 12 years or whatever we figure out how we pay for this thing, your prices will go up over each year, correct?
So meter costs, we have answered the RFP. We did our best to give increases because we don't know the future. So we were tying them to PPI/CPI. Since then, we've worked with the manufacturer and have a 4-year lock of sorts. So year over year for the first 4 years, increases not to exceed 2.75%.
Okay, 2.75 were the first 4 years.
Correct. That's on hardware, but also your cellular costs.
And then, like 11 years, you gave a whole thing, cellular costs over 20 years. So those could change in the out years.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Okay, that was not a fixed cost.
that was a good faith guesstimate of sorts. Yeah, we 10 years and 20 years. That's a long ways to make those kind of guesses.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the cellular unit fees as well for example, in case if it didn't land for you, you only pay for what's installed. You only pay for what you're using. So if you install 300 endpoints in a year, that's the cellular unit fees based on those. If you install 10 this month and 20 next month, you're paying for those amounts. It's not a hard, fast number.
Okay, thank you. And it brings up another question. Is there an annual fee period for Beacon and then the per meter fee, or is that all rolled into one now?
It's Beacon is your software.
Yep.
Ion Water is your software. Those software fees are in the cellular unit fees.
Okay, because I believe a few years ago there was a set fee per year, even if you didn't have it was up to 700 meters or 500 meters. But this is, every meter we put in, we're just paying incrementally for all the meters that get installed. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. All right, any other questions? I know this is kind of nerdy, but it's going to affect every single water customer in the city eventually. And every single one of them with a problem is going to be calling City Hall but everyone with a great experience will just have a great experience. So, and then you're based in Auburn Hills, and everything comes out of Auburn Hills now? All right. Anything else you'd like to add to close?
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Right. All right. So, Mr. Barrett and Mr. Gregory, you want to add anything to this? And
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sorry, I showed up late. I had some other commitments going on, but I think Ashley and Jeff did an awesome job. I think just now, Jim and Blue Water, they did a brief explanation of presentation of what they got going on. But the deciding factor for us is when we broke down these providers and had interviews. Blue Water's team showed up with a very strong team that convinced us that they are the contractor or the installer of what we really want to use. And especially the Eyes on Water app, I think it's transparency for local government, for the residents and the utility payers to see what's going on, and that's the big difference. And I think the biggest consideration you guys have, and I think the mayor hit it, is our estimates were maybe $3 million over 10 years, but most of the quotes that came in, you're talking $5 million. So there's decisions on, and I think the mayor hinted what he wants to do, but how does this affect the water rate to add a couple, $200,000-$300,000 in capital improvements additionally per year? Or do you want to extend it out? But I think I know which way you're going.
you looked in Metron, and you said they did a pretty good job too. They had decent meters as well.
They did. Metron was very impressive, and I should say that most of these meter providers were good. And when you look at the long-term costs of what you have going on here, Blue Water they look great to us. And when we were doing the integration with BSNA, when Tanya was having issues integrating things, they were here in City Hall within 2 hours when we were doing some sample meters and helping us figure this out. And I think another key component is, and it shouldn't be overstated, but Badger Meters and Blue Water, they have their warehouse, they mentioned in Auburn Hills, but they have a significant stock of meters that are in supply. And right now on the Neptune meters, was that a 3-inch we needed?
4-inch compound.
We were trying to find a 4-inch compound meter that we didn't have in stock, and Badger had 4 or 5 month lead time on that meter. We ended up finding one at one of our communities near us that loaned it out to us, and we replaced it. But I think that's a significant item right there, is just being in Auburn Hills and having a large warehouse.
Okay. Installation's a big, buying meters is easy. Just making, you order the meters and they arrive and you check and make sure they have their cubic feet, but then they get installed. I think Blue Water has their own installation team, and then others had HydroCorp as a installation company.
Correct. I don't know the whole matrix, but I think 3 of the proposals that came in were using HydroCorp as an installer, but Blue Water has their own employees installing the water meters. They have their own training program that they showed off at the presentation, and they are not contract employees. They were actual employees that are working for Blue Water.
Okay. Would we save any money if we bought the meters and contracted with HydroCorp, or I used Vepo metering?
Those are options that we can look into. I think once we know which product we really want to go forward with and we have the basis of the cost, we can, I think, forgot what the motion is, but to give authorization to begin negotiation to have a contract with the vendor, and then we can know how the hair is split and what options we have.
Yeah, I don't think it's practical to have our DPW take on the meter installations. That's just,
No, thank you.
no,
Couple of my staff.
there's just too much to it. And they do, I've had good experience with outside installation teams. And so,
And one thing I'd like to point out, I couldn't see the screen in their presentation, but the Eyes on Water app not only tells you your daily use and high use or low use, there's artificial intelligence in there that could point it out and suggest that this is how much you used on your wash machine, showers, toilets, irrigation, and so forth.
all right. Anything else you want to add?
Comment, Joe?
How old what's the percentage of meters that are over 40 years old?
Go
60%.
with 75.
Do we have a good handle on how old those meters are?
We don't have a good handle. It's hard to say. I know a lot of our meters were rebuilt. We purchased them because we got them cheaper. Just rebuild the guts inside and then reinstall them. But that's not always the best scenario either, because we run into problems a year later. So we don't really have a good say on how old these meters are, but we have ran into original meters and we've ran into brand new rebuilt meters that we replace every single day.
Let's just say they mostly qualify for AARP.
Yeah, that's true.
And for the age of the meters, the closest item that I could find for a record was in BSNA, and all the existing meters when Fraser incorporated BSNA, which might have been 2012, all the meter ages are listed for 2012, except as we replaced as we went further, so we know the inception of BSNA plus.
It's been my experience too. Nobody put the installation gear in. So, Mayor Pro Tem Odell.
I'm just going to make the motion to authorize city administration to begin negotiations to enter a contract with Blue Water Solutions for the procurement and installation of water meters for a multi-year installation program.
Seconded.
All right, Councilmember Perry.
I just wanted to know some of the difference here. I mean, obviously, we're only talking about Blue Water right now, and this is no disrespect to them, but I mean, they're $2 million more than the Ferguson, which is what we're using now, correct? And I'm assuming, I have a Ferguson meter, I'm assuming, or Neptune. It's mechanically driven. What other companies here are mechanically driven compared to did you guys mention like Sonic, ultrasonic? I mean, that's a lot of money for a $6 million project. We could shave $2 million off of it by going with I don't want to say an old meter, but the standard meter, let's say. Everything sounded great. It's just, that's $2 million.
Well, the issue, I think, is the procurement of them. They're short, so they're having a hard time actually getting some of these meters. So the issue would be that we wouldn't be able to actually get them. So.
I get that. It's $2 million.
Yeah.
And also, like when you were mentioning, when meters do fail or when they start to fail, how much loss? I know you can't, some just fail completely and probably stop calculating altogether, but when they do wear, is there a lot of loss in that wear? Is it 10%? Is it 30%? Roughly?
The amount of loss, unless there's an expert here that knows more, but it's hard to measure. We don't know where that's at. What we currently analyzed is our annual water loss, and it's running around 17% or so, but that's incorporating fires, which isn't metered water, hydrant flushing, water main breaks or whatever. So we do know our water loss is around 17%. How much is that from being under-registered from what we sell compared to what we buy? Somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then I think you mentioned, we talked about the mutating disc. That's an option if this is what the direction you want to go, but
Could you speak into the microphone? Yeah.
the Ferguson, they know it, but their software and their portals are behind the times, and you will not be providing the residents with the data that you've seen in this presentation.
Okay. And I didn't mean to just single out Ferguson. Obviously there's other rates in there that are $1 million less, $1.5 million less. I just was taking the extremes and just wanted to know, that's just a big chunk of money to ask for the residents to pay for. I just wanted clarification. Thank you.
Those are good questions, and we appreciate them, and that's what our team discussed too.
Councilmember Higgins.
I have questions along a similar line. So can you explain what the value is to the average water consumer of spending, like Councilmember Perry said, $2 million more for meters from Blue Water Solutions over the Ferguson meters? Is it, let's say, maybe that 17% of our water loss, maybe 10% of that is because the meters are under reading as they slow down. Is the idea that we're then going to be able to account and bill those people who are using that water that's not being accounted for, and over time, the people who, because normally that cost has to be absorbed by the city, right? And if we can actually bill the people who are using that water that it's not being accounted for, theoretically, right, for everybody, the rates would be 10%, or the cost. And then,
So I think Patricia's comments that she wants to pay for what she goes through, but the other aspect that I think that our elected officials should be aware is that most customers are being underbilled right now because we're not measuring everything going through their meter. So while we're actually giving accurate bills now, most will be register as higher because they're actually paying for what's going through their meter. And you got a second part of your question, I can't remember.
the value of these meters. I mean, I know there's the app and the interface.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's just the leak detection, the analytics that they have, and then there's a company, a city-facing software as well, Beacon, and then the user is Eyes on Water.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to, and Mr. Thompson maybe back me up on this, but you're asking the difference between a mutating disk meter, which is the mechanical, and the ultrasonic. And it is my understanding, and I think the professionals behind me will agree, the ultrasonic is not going to deteriorate at all through the life of the meter because there's no moving parts in there. Now the mutating disk wears down, and so it doesn't move as often or catches as much water going through.
And those are what we have currently.
Right.
The 60-year-old meters are doing that.
You're correct, Rob. And in fact, on the residential sizes, I know warranty was a hot button issue, but on the residential sizes, that 20-year warranty is not just the meter, but it's also the accuracy. That meter will maintain 98.5% accuracy for the life of the meter.
Is there a different warranty for commercial?
There is, and forgive me, I can't remember it. Is it? Sorry. Accuracy five years on the commercial. I'm not sure what anybody else does. I work with Badger Meter, and that's what I focus on, so I don't know what the others.
So it's shorter on the commercial?
Correct.
There's just more water generally flowing through those, so it's just used more often.
The battery's activated more often.
No. Well, yes, on an ultrasonic meter, you are.
It
does use the battery.
It's grabbing a sample at the same frequency. It's reporting at the same frequency. The battery is intended to last for that same 20 years. Warranty on a larger meter is just harder to maintain. It doesn't matter what type of meter it is.
Yep. Councilmember Shornack.
Well, I just wanted to explain to, well, not explain.
make a comment with regards to, yes, when we do this, we will obviously be paying more, but the whole point of it is if we're losing money, we're not able to put money into the fund, and we have a extreme aging infrastructure that needs to be paid for. It's going to get paid for one way or the other. So if everybody's about paying their equal share, then if you're using the water, then you pay your extra share. I know people always complain about the water bills in Fraser, but I got news for you. I have talked to people in all the surrounding communities, and they get billed differently, but their water rates are pretty close to ours. So, you know, that doesn't fly for me more as a reason to be upset. But the fact that we are a small community and people have to realize that our infrastructure is not just the meters. It is all, as we have discussed multiple times, multiple miles of drains that are failing, of water mains that are failing, of things that are failing that we have to pay for. And that has to come out of our water and sewer budget. So it has to come out of funding one way or the other. So, yeah, does it stink? Yeah, nobody wants to pay higher bills. I don't necessarily pay higher bills either, but if I'm using the water, that's my responsibility. So I don't have a problem with that. I do appreciate that if we go with something that is more technologically up to date, because let me just tell you, I am in the 7th level of hell right now at work because we just did a core conversion on Tuesday. So, but you have to do more and you have to get stuff up to date in order to move forward, because let's just face it, we are a technology-driven world these days. So if we want our lives to be easier and more accurate and know what we're using and know what's not happening or what is happening in our homes quicker, we have to have the technology to have it to back it up. So
And a comment on that just real quick is that, you know, there's two parts of this service and replacing the meter. You want to accurately bill for it, and you want to sell the same amount of, close to the same amount of water as you purchased. But I think we all understand, but it's worth pointing out, is the customer service aspect that's here and some of the hardships that we meet with residents that did not know that they had a leaking pipe in their house or a broken toilet, and their bill is all this big now of water they really didn't even use, but it went through their meter. But this customer service aspect, they will at least have the options to control and see when they do have their leaks.
Yeah, I'd like to answer your question, Mr. Perry. Why? It's $2 million more. That's an investment. Mm-hmm. What I can tell you from my experience of using Badger since 2020 and Metron since 23 is that you will save our customers in a $10 million system will save more than $100,000 a year by reducing and eliminating leaks before. Right now, when we get a bill, that meter read was almost a month before. With Badger and proactively on the DPW and billing side, they can actually look. And so you call in, and I talked to hundreds of customers that call and say, why is my bill so high? And what I'm able to do on either of those platforms is go in there, pull up that meter, and watch the history over a period of time. Mm-hmm. Beacon will tell you this leak started on this date, and it was this flow, and it's been continuous since that date. And then you can actually see when it started, and then when they fix it, you can say, okay, I had a customer, they put a new irrigation system in. There was a problem with one of the valves. It was 2.9 gallons an hour, or 2.9 gallons every 15 minutes. And they fixed it. They thought they fixed it. I called them back 2 days later and said, you still got that leak. So that is the customer service part of it. There's a level of service where we're getting accurate readings and we're billing correctly and everybody's getting treated the same way. The other part is that when there is a problem, Rob can and Joe and Tanya can all attest that customers are very frustrated and say, I've checked everything, I don't have a leak. And when you can show them a graph that says, here's the last 3 days, and did you by chance leave a hose on in your backyard? You can actually say, like at 4 o'clock it started leaking. And those things actually happen. I've saved people thousands of dollars and avoided a lot of leaks that way too. So that's where the benefit comes in of this smart metering system. And what we do right now, we can't tell when that 1,000 or that 748 gallons was used in a particular, we can just tell between this date and this date, they used 748 gallons. But on these systems, you can tell exactly in 15-minute increments what you're using. So that, I think, is very much the customer service aspect. It saves time, gives customers confidence, and I'm not the salesman here, but I have been using this, and it has saved me a lot of time. So, all right. So we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Modell, seconded by Councilmember Fletcher, to direct the city administration to enter into negotiations for a contract with Blue Water. Can we still look at just buying the meters and engaging our own? Can we get an analysis of whether that's possible?
So by authorizing us to enter negotiations, those are items that we could look at.
Okay. I would like to see if there's a way we can do that. So, any other questions? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? I know we've gone long, but I think this is a 10-year project. All right. Seeing none, all in favor say aye. 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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. And how long do you think that would take before you'd come back with some 60 days, 30 days?
I would
Take your
look
time.
at probably at the city council meeting in September or October here.
Okay.
You know,
And keep us apprised as things move along about the questions we had. All right, thank you very much. Item number 7D, commercial cross-connection contract extension. This one should be pretty straightforward.
Sorry, I didn't get a chance. So before you is a contract extension renewal for HydroCorp for our commercial cross-connection program. I'm supporting this renewal because when Mr. Bigeron went to the effort and the cost to put this out to bid in, I think it was 2023, there's only one bidder and one contractor out here. It's HydroCorp. I did invite HydroCorp here because of we had a issue in May, and I'm going to let him explain to it a little more in detail, where customers were giving a letter with a date to comply with, and it was just a matter of just a couple of weeks, when in reality, let him not share steal us under, but they had problems with their mailing company, and they fixed that. And I'm going to let him also explain that the frequency of testing that past administration approved compared to what the changes we made on the fly last month with frequency of the inspections.
Hi, my name's Jim Simon. I'm with HydroCorp. We did have an incident where what we do is when we do an inspection on a house, if we find a testable backflow device for a lawn sprinkler system or some other water use, we will record that, and then the following year we will send out a testing notice. It's part of the state regulations that these devices get tested. We are trying to give them as much notice as possible. You know, now that they've changed the rules about who is allowed to do backflow testing, it is hard sometimes to find a plumber that can come out to you in a timely manner. Like he said, we did try to use a third-party mailing company. Unfortunately, when we sent that data over to them, it did get delayed. We found out that it even was delayed further in the post office. So unfortunately, a lot of the water customers, instead of getting the 6 or 8 weeks that we would customarily give them, only received 2 weeks. Of course, with this letter, it also states what the penalty is for not complying with it. So, you know, they're given a 2-week notice stating that there's a penalty of possible water shutoff. You could imagine they were very nervous about this. So what we did do is we moved the date backwards and, you know, gave everybody an extension for that and tried to rectify that internally. We're also going to look at other ways to send out those mailers. We do get a lot of them in the beginning of the year. We have a lot of water customers throughout the state. We have like 300 cities that we do this for, so you can imagine that's a lot of mail. Not that it's an excuse, but, you know, there was a lot. So that's why we were trying to use that third-party mailing company. But we're looking for better solutions for that.
Okay, but you're here tonight about the Commercial Cross Connection Program. Correct. Can you explain what that is briefly?
Yes, what we do is, you know, it's required by the state that each commercial property be inspected once every 5 years. If it's a high hazard facility, something that uses chemicals or, you know, has dangerous water usage, where they're using that water in an area where they're, you know, could have poison re-enter the water system, they'll have a yearly inspection. We go to that business, we look at the points of use of water, we look to see if there's the proper backflow protection. If we don't find it, we make a recommendation that they install these, you know, devices to keep the water safe. We keep a record of all that. We send out testing notices for any backflow devices we find in commercial buildings so that they get their yearly testing. For a commercial building, it's every year for a backflow device. So we send out those notifications. We keep those records. And we also help you compile the report that comes at the end of the year that goes to the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. We call it an EAGLE report. So we put that together for you. If they have any questions, we try to deal with that for you so you don't have to explore the answers. We'll provide those answers for you. When water customers have questions about what the code is and how, you know, it affects them, we like to take those questions on so you don't have to deal with explaining, you know, the regulations to them. And we try to assist you to, you know, comply with that program as much as possible.
Okay. Now, do you take, you handle everything, so we give you a list of all our commercial customers and those that have backflow preventers?
Yes.
And then you reach out to them and say, it's time for you to get your master plumber to certify your backflow. And
Yes.
then you handle all that so we don't have to.
Correct. We do all the administrative work.
And you keep track of all the records, and like you said, at the end of the year, you do the EAGLE report.
Yes, we do. So, you know, we'll get an address list from you.
Mm-hmm.
We do all the mailing to send them notification. An inspector will be around, you know, at a certain date. We schedule that appointment, make contact with the customer, and carry it on from there.
Do you schedule the appointment after they've had the backflow tested?
Well, we're not part of the actual testing.
I know you're not. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm trying to.
So what we do is we'll schedule the appointment whether we know that there's a device there or not. That inspection will reveal if there's a device. If we find one at that point, then we put it into a testing cycle.
Okay, so you're going out there and saying, you have one, it's time to get tested, get it tested, send us the certification, and we'll enter it.
Correct. In our software, we do records of all the testable devices and organize that.
Okay. Any other questions? I'd like to make a motion to, where's the motion here? Motion to approve a 3-year service contract with HydroCorp for commercial cross-connection control program services in the amount of $121,824.
That's the old one.
That was
2003.
correct.
All right. Oh, there's an extra page in here.
Yeah, that was the previous contract from March to February 23 to 26.
I like this one better.
So do I.
All right. Like to make them, 151 you said.
Just give him your computer. There you go. There you go. Read it off a kiss.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a 3-year service contract with HydroCorp for commercial cross-connection control program services in the amount of $90,687.80.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comment by council? Anyone in the audience? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, item number 7F, RFP process for planning and building department
E?
service.
Nope. E.
Oh, I'm sorry. I crossed it off I was too excited.
Back to the 8.
7E, GLWA contract renewal amendment. Back, Mr. Barrett.
Thank you.
You're gone so long.
Yeah. So I think the original contract might be 2009, but we go through negotiations with Great Lakes Water Authority to extend our water contract. And it's really not it's not a negotiation of the rate we're going to pay, but the factors that drive our rate, we come to terms with those. So the last 3 months, we've been having extensive meetings and meetings behind the scenes, looking at our max day factors, looking at our peak hour factors, finding anomalies that we can weed out through water main breaks or pool and fire reports for such as the warehouse, Zeta warehouse or storage facility we had. And then we knock some of these anomalies off and slowly bring down your max day factors and your peak hour factors. Why we don't know the cost or what the significance of this is, there are negotiations and adjusting everybody, all of their, I think, 86 water customers, communities, their max day and their peak hour. So when they have the costs of their system to deliver water and they see how everybody's factors are in, then they blend it into, as a whole, the 86 communities can pay for the water because in actuality, we're buying it from authority that we all belong to. Most interesting is I did provide a couple attachments to help understand the wholesale rate and how it's determined, but the key factors are annual volume, max day, peak hour, distance to pump it here, the elevation changes in the grade to pump it here, and the size and number of your wholesale meter connections. The good news is our annual water use has gone down from 69,000 million cubic feet to 60,000. Max day has gone down from 2.81 million gallons a day to 2.52, and our peak hour has dropped from 4.25 to 3.83 million gallons a day. It's hard to say. I think these are significant findings, and I suspect and hope that our wholesale rate, when they calculate the rates and the increases, our factors are going to be down, are going to help control the water rates.
But they're not going to, this will temper future increases, essentially.
That is very well put.
This does not change this year's bill.
Correct. This is for effective July 1st, 2027.
I want to thank you for doing the deep dive on this because I noticed that just looking at the history, our projected annual volume in 2009 was 87,500 million cubic feet. And now we're down to 69 and then 60,028. That's a significant drop in usage. And then Great Lakes Water Authority is slow to catch up on that and adjust their rates for us.
Right.
Unless we go and say proactively, go look at that.
So when they're trying to figure out the demand that Fraser puts on the area system, it's really the key factors are your max day and your peak hour. And Joe and I spent a lot of time looking at numbers, trying to find old water main break history, because water main breaks and fires, if they fall on one of your max days, they can be taken out of the equation. So we found several. We found a lot from the pressure spikes from the Great Lakes Water Authority, which we had one today. I'm going to tell you that our investment in our PRVs paid off. We had one water main break today. There's a huge spike in the pressure. And last reported from Sterling Heights, they're up to 6 water main breaks today because of that pressure spike, and our PRVs held us to 1. So,
What are PRVs?
Valves that are in there.
Pressure release valves?
Pressure reducing valve. So when we are, on a typical day, we'll receive around 73 PSI water from the Great Lakes Water Authority. Our pressure reducing valves throttle it down to around 60 PSI, which is adequate for all of our needs. And it takes less pressure on our pipes and we're not having as many breaks. And then when you do have a shutdown of loss of power at the North Power Plant and your system goes down to 30 or 40, and then their backup generators kick on and they shoot 90 or 100 PSI into the system, there's a lot of water pressure, which is called, or head, that goes through the system, that our PRVs will capture that and not let it, to an extent, when they come very violently into our system, we are having a water main break, but not like Sterling Heights, but it controls our spikes and pressures, pressure reducing valve.
Those cost about $1 million, $750,000 a piece to install, and there's 3 of them. And we made that decision, what, in 2020, 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we can do to adjust how we get Great Lakes Water Authority to charge us?
Thank you for the segue question. Well, one item, we do have an ordinance for odd-even irrigation days, where it is actually against the law for you to water your grass on an odd calendar day if you're an odd address, you should be doing it on a odd calendar day, and vice versa for the even. What that does is control, it was an attempt whenever they incorporated or adopted this law, but it controls your max day. Instead of when you have the most demand to irrigate your lawns, you have all the residents piling on one day, and then your max hour and your max day goes up, which affects your wholesale rates. So the intent of the law was not to be Big Brother telling somebody when they can water their grass, but to just spread out the demand that the City of Fraser is putting on the system, which ultimately lowers your wholesale rate. And I have intention this spring to put out some public notifications, educate the public about the law, and try to get public cooperation in watering odd even days.
Okay. And if you come up with anything else in your bag of tricks, please let us know. Now, question, do we have eyes on the meters from Great Lakes Water Authority? Can we look at them at any time?
Yes.
Okay. Because I've integrated those from another authority into Beacon, so you can actually see your supply as well as your demand side of things.
Yes. They have a very user-friendly portal called the Whammer, where you can see your daily flows, spikes, and all types of good information.
Any other questions about Great Lakes Water Authority and why they charge us so much money? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve amendment number 5 to the water service contract between the Great Lakes Water Authority and the City of Fraser, contingent upon final review by the city attorney.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion by Mayor Lesich, seconded by Councilmember Higgins to approve amendment number 5 to the water service contract between Great Lakes Water Authority and the City of Fraser. Any questions from the audience? Any complaints? Anyone from the council? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Now we will move to item 7F, RFP process for planning and building service department services. City manager.
Thank you. So a couple of meetings ago, there was discussion about the building and planning department services. They are consultants right now. They are McKenna. We worked together. The city clerk prepared a RFP for both of these services for you to review and consider releasing for bids. One thing I would just like to mention is that it is normal for bidding out consultants over a certain number of years. I don't know when these were last bid out. Within the last several years, we did bid out the engineering services as well as the attorney services. So this isn't an abnormal thing, and I would certainly believe that McKenna intends on preparing a bid for these as well, should you choose to move forward with these RFPs.
Councilmember Higgins.
Thank you for getting these ready for us. The only thing that strikes me about this is that an issuance date of July 20th and then a response deadline of August 7th is about 19 days, including weekends. I would like to give prospective bidders more time to prepare their bids. I'm thinking like 45 to 60 days. I know when we tried to, our Department of Public Works tried to go and put our waste hauling contract out to bid, the amount of time was a surprise how those are larger animals. They need like 6 months or a year, I think Rob was saying now, to go out to bid. We don't need that quite that long, I think, for planning and building, but I think we certainly need longer than 2 weeks.
I
So I
agree.
am, yeah.
Yeah, I concur.
I agree as well.
How much time would you need once you receive them to put them, to get a recommendation onto the agenda? Like if we went out to August 30th, would that give you enough?
I was going to make a motion too. I had a date in mind. I was thinking September 21st, about 60 days from the issuance date of July 20th. I was looking at September 20th, but that's a Sunday. So I think it just makes more sense to have it fall on a Monday, a business day. And then we could move back the other dates, the same number of days.
Okay.
So
It would likely move the staff recommendation to November. Just want to make sure that you're aware of that.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I think more time to get more bids is preferable.
No problem.
But I appreciate you guys trying to move so fast on it too.
So,
So I'd like to make a motion to adopt the RFP process for planning and zoning and building services, and amend the final deadline for proposal submission date to Monday, September 21st, 2026. And then evaluation and review by Planning Commission, Monday, October 19th. And the staff recommendation to November 23rd.
second.
You said Planning Commission on October 19th,
Yes.
but they don't meet till,
Is that their normal date?
Yeah, it has to be changed.
Way earlier than that.
It'd be
the
earlier.
First week of October.
Okay.
okay.
First week of October. Okay.
So amend the dates accordingly
Yeah.
to the meeting schedule.
I'll amend my motion to.
We'll get those dates
Okay.
in line.
I turned this in with blank dates, just so you know, those weren't mine.
Okay.
Well, you can't change a blank sheet of paper.
That's right, but we knew you guys were going to change it. I figured you would.
All right. Did we have a motion? Do we have something?
And I do have, and I have a second motion I want to make too. I would like to also attach our current contracts with McKenna for planning and building to the RFP,
So apples to apples.
apples to apples. I mean, it's information that's available anyways, right?
Okay. And did you second?
I seconded.
Okay, thank you. All right, I had one question. Building Department Services, we just entered into a contract or an agreement with McKenna a year ago, correct?
So a year ago, we were looking at getting a quote from Roseville.
Right.
We did get that quote, and it was about, I think, roughly 50% more. So we chose to move forward with McKenna at the time.
Okay.
But there was a clause in that, if I recall right, that we could exit out of that contract with 60 days notice or something along those.
So each of the contracts with McKenna has a termination clause. I can't remember which one is 60 days and which one is, I think, 90 days. But they are aware of this RFP process, and I have been in communications with them. So, like I said, I believe that they will be putting in a bid as well, so that we certainly will hopefully be getting the best price, much as we did when we were bidding out for the engineering and legal.
And if Roseville wanted to bid, could they respond to this RFP as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, just want to make sure that we're widening the net. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other comments from council? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Can we take a quick 5-minute break?
Second.
All right. We'll be back at 8:18. All right, we're back. It's 8:20 PM. Item 8A, zoning ordinance amendment. City manager.
All right, so at our last meeting, we had a pretty extensive discussion regarding the zoning ordinance, and there were some changes that were made based on the feedback that Lauren received regarding primarily the map. We do have a representative from McKenna here, Brian Kesey, and he's here to answer any questions that you might have about any of those changes. As I mentioned, the changes that were recommended, all of those were implemented in the final that you have before you.
The changes that were requested.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We dialed it back to the original,
Changes to the changes.
or we omitted the changes and kept with the original plan.
In some respects, yes. All right. Any questions by council on these changes? Would you like to speak on this at all?
Thank you. I am Brian Kesey from McKenna. I'll refer to Lauren's letter to the council from June that addresses the two major changes that were made was the reversion back to the industrial zoning near 15 and Commerce. And then the other being the inclusion of the recreational district that then applies to the back half of the golf course. So those are the significant changes. She's outlined all of the more minor tweaks in that memo also, but I believe that completes the items that were requested.
Okay. Any questions by council? If not, we would entertain a motion.
Let me go back to that.
I'll make the motion. Motion to approve the zoning ordinance text amendments and zoning ordinance map amendments as submitted, and to terminate the moratorium on car washes and moratorium on shipping containers.
Oh, just,
I'll second it. Let's get it going. City attorney, let's go to Don first. Mr. Denault?
Okay, now it's on. This is going to be a very technical lawyer thing, but could we add to the motion that those moratorium endings coincide with or take effect when the ordinance itself becomes effective? Otherwise, we'll have a weird little window of time where the new zoning ordinance isn't in effect yet, but the moratoriums are gone, and I don't expect any trouble, but just to clean
I don't
that
want
up.
any plans submitted for another car wash, Don. Let's not chance
Right.
that, shall
We'd
we?
like the,
I'll
we'd like the
amend
new
my-
ordinance to control is what I'm getting at.
I'll amend my motion with that addition.
Second.
Say the addition
Oh, wait, you were the second.
out loud. That terminate the moratorium on car washes and moratorium on shipping containers as of the effective date of the ordinance.
Correct, when the zoning ordinance becomes effective, yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. Councilmember Perry.
no, I just didn't want them merged because what if you were yes for one and no for the other? Well,
Was anybody?
Yes on
yeah, I clearly am.
Oh, okay.
yes and no on what?
I want the moratorium to end, and I'm not for the update on the zoning ordinance. I want it to stay like it was.
That's what this
It
does.
is, that's what we're doing.
100% from,
No, he means like the original, like before we
Oh,
even
except for
started
that one
updating,
section.
like no
choosing
updates
where-
whatsoever.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. All right, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Odell, seconded by me. Any other council comments?
Mr. Mayor, I believe Mr. Perry's request could be interpreted under Robert's rules as asking to divide the question, and he would have
Okay.
the right to do that.
All right. So I've never been in this room when we divided the question.
So because there are two questions and wrapped up in one motion, he's asking that the question be divided and each question be addressed individually.
It's an individual motion.
Meaning, as the chair, you would then ask for a new motion on question one and then a motion on question two.
All right, I would request that the motion maker rescind their motion and split this into two motions.
All right, I will try to do that. I'll rescind my motion, and I'll do the first motion to approve the zoning ordinance text amendments and zoning ordinance map amendments as submitted.
Second. All right. Councilmember Higgins, your light is on.
I just want to make sure. So the recreation district, I know, was returned to the rear of the golf course parcel, and then the front of that is commercial, as it was before, right?
Still split zone,
Correct. It's still split zone.
That's correct.
pending whatever they're going to plan.
Yeah, I was looking through it. I thought it would be faster to ask.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the zoning ordinance text amendments and zoning ordinance map amendments as submitted. We have a motion and a second. Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? Yes. Come on up.
Hi, my name's Lynn Hodell. I live over at the Villas of Pine Ridge, and we heard about the golf course, being up for sale, and we were just wondering if we could get a little more clarification. I hear you're saying commercial in the front, some kind of recreational in the back. What are we talking about? Or you can't really go into detail yet.
This is just the zoning.
Yeah, that's just how they're zoned. So that's the way they were actually already zoned prior, and that's what they had wanted it to stay as. So that's what we had figured out between this meeting and last meeting, that we were going to keep that zoning the same. So nothing's actually changing zoning-wise in that area. So it's all the same. But what's going to happen there, that's up to the developers.
So I think your question is, you live next door to it, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
We don't know the particulars yet. The property owner and the potential developer came and asked us to leave it as is, and they were going to come forth with a more comprehensive plan in the near future.
And it will be public.
And it will be public, and you will know. But they didn't want us to change anything, and then they were going to ask for other changes, so they just, the Bennett's asked if we could just leave it as is for at the present time.
Okay.
And then when they make their decisions, whatever the developer or the potential purchaser and the Bennetts do, that's to be determined, and that will be a public process.
And if you watch the last meeting, the developer actually came and spoke and kind of outlined their plans for the property.
Yeah, somebody sent me a link, but it wasn't working for me.
You can always go online and find our meetings online on our website as well.
Pardon me?
You can go on our website and find our meetings at any time, so you can view them from whole.
Okay.
Yep, just so you have information.
Great. Well,
All right. Anyone else like to speak on this? Is this a roll call, or is this just a vote? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion passes 5-1. All right. Now we would entertain a second motion.
Motion to terminate the moratorium on car washes and moratorium on shipping containers to coincide with the adoption of the new zoning ordinance as submitted.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to terminate the moratorium on car washes and the moratorium on shipping containers, coinciding with the effective date of the zoning ordinance text amendments and zoning ordinance map updates. Comments by council? And so this is tie-barred to the previous motion too, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's not tie-barred in a sense, but now that the other motion has passed, it does have a time element to it where it will take effect when the ordinance takes effect.
Okay. So it will, if this passes, it will take effect whenever the zoning ordinance.
Right, roughly 10 to 15 days.
All right.
to do the math.
Just want to make that clear. Any comments by council? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? Councilmember Perry?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, item 8B, library bond proposal update.
What?
Nothing.
You lost your marbles? Short trip? My eyes are burning.
Been smoking full packs a day with this smoke, guys. We're losing it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Lorena, the library director, Lorena McDowell, the library director. I am here just to let you know we are still looking at doing something with the building. We are We are having people in to do inspections currently. We have been doing that recently, looking at mold and stuff like that. That is just what we're doing currently, but we are not able to progress with the architect's drawings because they need to be redone. As we had gone, thanks to stuff from you guys mentioning things, we went back to, we got a new bookkeeper from things that happened. So, and we had them look over all of our numbers, and so they came back with more accurate information, and which then meant that we need to do different stuff with the architect and figure out how we would like to proceed forward to still get what the populace had indicated they wanted, both in the strategic planning activities that we did in the city, and the different surveys we sent out with everything that, all the responses we got back. So we're trying to make sure to do all the things, everything we can do with what we have available to us. So we will come as soon as that's all finished. And I'm here to say that we're not stopping working. We have been moving forward, but there have been...
You just need to pivot.
Yes. Sorry, I'm looking for the correct words.
You need to pivot.
Yes. So I'm just letting you know things are still happening. We're doing what we can while we can. And it doesn't help with the smoke in the air right now.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Anyway, any questions? We'll answer what I can.
Okay, Councilmember Higgins, go ahead.
What, because I really, the previous plan was very pretty.
Yes.
But it obviously needs to fit within the scope that you have available.
Yes.
What can you share anything about what you're looking at currently?
Well,
What you're asking the architect to change?
Yes.
Other than cost?
It's cost mostly related, and he has given us some options that we need to figure out which of those options we would like him to proceed with. And we have a couple of board meetings coming, and during those upcoming board meetings, and this is for the public, if you want to come to one of the board meetings, we're going to be talking about those types of issues to figure out what we're telling the architect to do. So that's what's happening.
Can you share some of the options?
No.
They don't have the
not yet.
renderings
Okay.
yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have
Fair enough.
renderings. I have nothing that I can say.
Fantastical ideas is what she's got.
We're not talking about my ideas. We're talking about what is possible. And,
Based on the budget presented.
Correct.
Mayor Pro Tem Odell.
Do you guys feel like you got a better, with the mayor in the prior meetings, a better idea of what you can afford to bond out and pay back reliably and have those numbers out there? So when you do come back, we have numbers that we can actually 100% say we can pay this back with the bond or with the millage that has already been passed and everything.
Correct.
Okay.
To the best of our knowledge, we do. I mean, that being said, we can't say what's going to happen if a comet hits us or something.
Sure,
that could change.
but I
It's
mean-
insured. I know. But
Acts of
yes,
God, though? I mean,
our numbers are
God, yep.
better for anything barring major catastrophes. It's better. So we can start proceeding for those things.
Because I think that's going to be key coming back is just make sure we have solid numbers that, what you're for sure getting and not what might be getting. But I mean, as long as we're in that scope, and because I would like nothing better, and I think most residents would like nothing better than to get this going. So and make progress because it's.
I promise.
No, I believe you.
Promise.
I believe you. I know it's a lot of moving parts.
I didn't notice today, but did you guys address the little courtyard? Because it was really getting overgrown.
We have, today I got the quote from our company that we use for mowing and everything. They gave me the quote for how much it would cost for them to do stuff in there. So we got that today, and I said, yes, we would like that. So it's going to be proceeding in the next few weeks. It'll be taken care of. I mean, it won't be perfect.
No, just as
yeah.
noticeably overgrown. So
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I have a few questions. On April 30th, I sent an email to the library board, the council, city manager, regarding my concerns about the financial forecast that was originally presented, I think it was February?
Yes.
And I didn't receive any reply. Or I got a reply that said, we're still working on it in May. I still got a reply that we're still working on it in June. And that I would be getting something before the 29th. That never happened. Is there a reason that didn't happen?
The reason is because we found that whatever thing we got back, we had to talk to the architect about redoing what we were going to go forward with because we didn't have the amount of money that we thought we would have.
That wasn't what I asked. What I asked for in that April 30th, I've got it right here. April 30th email was, you're going to get I think you need to get a financial advisor, which you did, and I appreciate that. But I was promised that we would be getting some information prior to the 29th. And it seems to me that your architect and the renderings are secondary to the amount of money you have. And so I would assume that your financial forecasts, if you're now talking to the architect about we need new renderings, you know how much money that you have to spend, that you think you do. When can this council see that information?
I will contact the board and let you guys know at the next board meeting because I can't speak for the board.
If that information's available, why does the board have to approve the release of it when it was already promised by the board president back in June?
I was not told I could give it out. So.
You're the library director.
Yes.
If the city manager had a financial forecast, she would not come to the council and ask us, can I give this out if it's a public financial forecast? So I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know at this point. I can't answer that question.
You don't know?
I don't know what the legality is for me at this point.
Okay, so we could FOIA that information then?
Probably.
Okay. So then that would be a public document.
Yes.
I guess one of the frustrations that I've heard in the community is that it's been almost 4 years since this millage was passed. If this city council put forth a millage for street repairs and we collected the money for 4 years and fixed no streets, the room would be filled with angry people. I think the library's been given a lot of leeway in this, and I would like to see this move forward because right now you're banking about $500,000 a year, and really we haven't progressed. So when do you see that progression happening? Because realistically, between floating a bond, getting your drawings done, we're looking at a year before this gets, before shovels in the ground. Would you, and then could be, I think you had a projection of 3 years before you're back in that building?
Yes, I would figure. The thing is, I don't feel comfortable promising anything right now, but the earliest I could see us being back there would be 28, probably, would be the earliest we're going to be back there in a building. But that is still, I can't confirm any of that. That is me talking off the top of my head, which I shouldn't.
Well, no, you already stated that back whenever you were here in February. I think you said 28, so it's no earlier than 28 in practical terms under what you're currently planning.
Correct.
So I guess are your meetings broadcast yet? Or so if the public wanted to find out more about, not from the council, because we're here as in an advice and consent role on the bond, correct?
Correct.
And we're like the co-signers, essentially.
Correct.
So these are your plans, your decisions, your financial forecasts, and your promises to repay based upon your millage. So the public I think the public needs to hear from the library about those things rather than the city council. We are consumers of the library as well because we're all taxpayers here. So when would you expect to come back with specifics, including the financial forecast, what your renderings look like? Because the renderings that you brought, I guess, are non-starter now?
They're very close to what we would like, but it may change. Yeah.
That was $7.5 million, if I recall, on the
Won't be
rendering.
7.5 million,
So it'll be
less there.
like
I can't give you exact numbers.
6 million? Because that was that was your forecast.
Yeah.
So that's $1.5 million less building. And so what's your target date of coming back here with more specific proposals?
I would hope that we could be back in September, because we have meetings. We have two meetings that are going to happen in August. And at those meetings, we will make decisions, and then the architect can proceed forward with stuff. So I would hope, but this is just me talking off the top of my head without anybody else weighing in, without me guaranteeing that the architect will be done or anything like that. I can't guarantee other people's stuff. But I hope that we will be able to come in September with plans and everything, is what I hope.
Okay, so and will you keep, I think one of the problems has been communicating between two boards. Do you have 6 on your board? Yes. Okay, and we have 7. So there's 13 elected officials involved.
Yes.
And I think that is hard to communicate to everyone. Can you and the city manager be direct liaisons and then each share with your board? That's really important. And it seems like that is broken down from time to time, and I'd like to see that fixed. Because I support the library. I support it financially through my taxes, but I've always supported public libraries, and I want to see improvements to it, but I want to see them in my lifetime. And if we are looking at 2029, and you pass this in 2022, that's 7 years from the millage to...
So then the building will be paid for. So they won't need to bond out if that keeps going. But if anybody has questions or problems or anybody's upset, the meetings are open. So they need to go there instead of trying to, give grief to any of us and ask us questions. Go directly to the library board. Go to their meetings if you are concerned, if you are feeling anxious, if you want to know why it's taken so long. Go there, get the answers. They are the people who will provide them.
Well, the library's here giving us an update on what's happening, and that's why I'm asking the questions now, to save you a lot of time, a lot of phone calls.
We hope that people come to the meetings. We don't tend to get the turnout that you get at city council meetings most of the time, but the people who come care, and we love that. So, we really welcome if people come and talk.
Okay. Councilmember Higgins.
Yeah, I think I, of course, support the library, too. I love the renderings we were shown at the meeting when the architects were here. But obviously, you got a new bookkeeper, a new financial advisor, and there's a new scope that you're working within. And as the co-signers of the bond, I do think it would be respectful that we would be shared as early as possible on what those forecasts are and how much money you have to spend. So I would encourage you to share with the board that you should come to the August meeting and tell us exactly how much money you have to spend, how much money you could bond out and repay under the existing millage in the August meeting. I don't think we should have to wait until September to hear that number, because we could FOIA it today.
Okay, thank you. I agree.
I would also support the library too, but everybody would like to know what that number is, so we have an idea of what we're working with, what we're going to co-sign for you to help support the library.
Yeah, my concern is, we get 10 years down the road and the financial forecast was off, and you have a lot of building and you can't afford programming. And then if you want to do programming, you come to the city and say, we need more money to support the program. And
I know part of the problem is you're waiting on other people, the board. And I think if you communicate to the board that council is waiting, I don't want to say impatiently, but with bated breath to hear the answer about how much money you guys could bond out, maybe that will light a fire under some of the board members to either respond more timely or the architects to respond more timely, and that will make your job easier too.
Well, architects are their customer.
As some say, help us
Right,
help
exactly.
you.
Yes.
Yes. So you're getting pressure to get answers, and the public is waiting and the council's waiting, and we're all anxious to see where this goes. So that's it. Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? All right, I guess that's it for now. and then let us know, let Elaine know, and you can CC us, but I think you two need to coordinate this between you so that she's our liaison to solid information. And if you send it to her and she sends it to us, then we all get it at the same time. And there's no, he got it, she didn't, that kind of thing. I think that would be a great assistance to all of us. So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention.
All right, report of city, number 9, report of city administration.
All right. So I had a preliminary meeting with BSNA regarding our transition to cloud service. We stepped through some of the processes and the target dates for certain things that they would like to see achieved throughout the process. We do have a date for going live with BSNA. It's scheduled for April 12th. I did work with department heads to make sure that that was a date that would be feasible for everyone and not get in the way of a number of things internally. I attended the 35-year celebration for Two Men in a Truck. Great organization, and I was happy to be part of that. There were quite a number of dignitaries there as well to help celebrate with them. Priority has had some service delays due to the issue that we have with the smoke from the fires in Canada and Minnesota. We did post notice on our website as well as Facebook. They did say to keep your trash out. They're going to be getting to it as quickly as possible. Obviously, with those people working outside, it is a hazard. Even with masks, they're still trying to pull back on that as much as possible. So please be patient with them as we get through this. Hopefully the weather will be changing within the next day or so, and they'll be able to get back on track with that. The auditor is going to be starting to do his preliminary work their preliminary work next week, so they'll be in the office on Monday and Tuesday. Angeli has done a great job, along with all of her staff, to be able to get prepared. Certainly, the new assistant, Sean, has been a great addition to the team to be able to help get her prepped and all of the required information uploaded to their website. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Report of mayor and city council. Councilmember Fletcher.
Well, I hope everyone had a happy Independence Day and celebrated with family. I'm looking forward to the carnival next week. I'm excited to eat a bunch of fried food and see everyone in the city. Other than that, I don't have much to add, but yeah, I hope to see everyone next week. It'll be fun. It always is.
Great. Councilmember Perry.
Nothing at this time.
Councilmember Higgins.
I think it was last weekend, I went to the Historical Commission's, their open house, which they added a reading of the Declaration of Independence to, thanks to the entire commission and Tom especially for helping to organize that reading. They also have upcoming on August 2nd an open house and a barn sale at the Baumgartner House from 1 to 4 p.m. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Shornack.
Well, let's just be grateful that this happened this weekend and not next weekend, because that would have really screwed up the fair. And then the fireworks wouldn't have been able to be seen, and we would have spent the $25,000 for nothing. So I just wanted to talk about the trees. I'm sorry, I'm not a tall woman. I'm 5'5.5". Yes, I am the extra half, and I'm throwing it out there. Anyway, I should be able to walk down the sidewalk and not get hit in the face with a tree. Because again, I'm not that tall. We need to make sure that if it's on their property, people are maintaining their trees. I'm going to say at least 7 feet from the sidewalk above. Because like my husband's 6'5". So if we try to go for a walk, I'm sorry, but we shouldn't have to be like, waiting for something to smack me in the face. And then I saw this little girl, couldn't have been more than 10 or 12, riding her bike down 14 Mile, bobbing and weaving, trying to not get hit in the face with trees. I'm like, that's completely unacceptable, people. Come on. This goes back to my original thing when I said a couple months ago about what happened to pride not only in your house, the thing you pay the most money for, I have to imagine, unless you have an Escalade, which is the cost of a house. Literally, people, what are we doing? This is our city. This should be your pride. This should be your joy, your home. Do you want people to drive through Fraser and go, I live in the ghetto, or they live in the ghetto? Come on. Like, we need to be responsible for our properties. We need to be responsible for this community. And it's just mind-blowing to me that people are not trying to take care of their houses, that they're not having consideration for their neighbors and the children. Do we want children riding in the street? I don't want children riding in the street. I see people walking in the street, and I know why now, because you're getting smacked in the face with brush. It's like insane to me. So I am asking our community to please get it together, gang. Like, have pride. Have pride in yourself. Have pride in your home. Have pride in your city. You know, remember what it's like to care about somebody other than yourself. I just, like, in these days and age, I don't watch the news anymore because I can't stand all the negativity. There's nothing but negativity. Nobody ever talks about the good things that people are doing for each other. And why is that? Because people aren't doing that many great things for each other. So I don't go on Facebook often because I don't want to hear everybody ranting or raving about the dumbest things ever I've heard and actually spreading misinformation, because that happens so much in this city. So why don't we start a cheerleading thing of pride in this city, pride in yourselves, pride in your homes, pride in this community. Care about what is happening. If you don't, and if we all don't start caring about what's happening, we're in for a very, 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 very hard fall. So I know part of the trees, and that's why, Elaine, if you could have the DPW, I know those are on city property technically. I cut my own tree, even though it's city property, because it just drives me nuts. But for houses and or businesses, or, well, I guess a condo and an apartment building to me is a business. So for those people, they need to cut their trees. We can't not utilize open spaces where you should be able to walk safely because people are being lazy. Everybody's got to stop being lazy, and they've got to remember what it is like to take care of what is yours. So I am asking the community, and I'm also asking, and I know DPW is busy, but can we please make it so it is possible to enjoy a walk out when the air becomes fresh again? I would really appreciate that, and I really appreciate if the community would actually get it together. So other than that, I hope we have a good weekend next weekend for the parade and for the fair, so everybody can enjoy that time. That's it.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Odell.
So kind of going along with that, my wife is campaigning for an election coming up, but that's not what I want to talk about. But I've walked about half of Fraser in the last 3 weeks, and I got to say, I was very impressed by how many houses were decorated for the 250th celebration. It was a lot more than I expected, but when you walk every street from 14 Mile to 15 Mile, and I just got to say I was very impressed with the amount of patriotism and a care of a lot of houses that I did see. So that was very refreshing. Obviously, the carnival's coming up. They're going to have 4 new rides, different than they've had in prior years, so definitely come check out the new rides. You can get reduced price wristbands up to 4 o'clock on Thursday at BigRockAmusements.com. There is a discount if you pay ahead of time online, so take advantage of that, especially if you got a lot of kids like me, and it'll save you some money. They'll have a petting zoo, a foam party, I believe, on Sunday. And then on the parade, I believe they have one more day if you want to be in the parade on Sunday at 10 a.m., you still can apply online with the city. If I recall right, I believe the 17th is the last day, and 250 years is the theme. So please sign up, participate, or come out. We didn't have it last year, but now Garfield is nice, flat, beautiful. We can actually go into a parade without going into a pothole, so I'm very excited about that.
No sprained ankles?
No sprained ankles, yes.
Hey, but we have the new thing, so Sam can pick up people on there.
And then finally, AEW has the Stephens Park renderings that they're online. They were just in C&G newspapers. They're on the city website. They want our citizens' input on what you want in Stephens Park. It's very important to get. They had the initial survey. They compiled those into 2 renderings. They want people's opinions on that. Take the time. It's the centerpiece of our city. As you're walking around during Carnival, you can see we've got a ton of space that is not being utilized effectively, and giving your input is really going to help define what our park looks like down the road. So participation on that is up to the end of this month. You can do it online. I believe there's information out there. Every park has a scan QR code that you can scan and take the survey. Please participate. If you want things in our town, you got to let us know, and this is a perfect opportunity to do that. That's all I have. Hopefully, I will be seeing a lot of people. I'll be pouring beer probably most nights, so come on up and say hi. And also thank you for all the people that have advertised in the beer tent and supported the Fraser Lions for the years and continue to do so. It's much appreciated. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Just a couple things. I was not able to attend the open house. I was up north with 4 grandchildren and a little busy, but thank you for Councilmember Higgins for going to that. It looked like a great event. Carnival's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And parade at 11:30, parade at noon? Noon, okay. Councilmember Shornack mentioned cheerleading for our community. I think this curb appeal contest has been a great addition to our city. I think there were 20-some entrants, the people that actually entered the competition. And we will look forward to seeing who those top people are. The 250th celebration's been going on. We had a good time up north. Everywhere I went, seemed red, white, and blue was very much in force. I guess not much else on that. I would just say let's see everybody next weekend, and let's hope the weather stays good and it's not 99 degrees. Supposed to be. You guarantee that?
I can't guarantee it.
You just guarantee.
Guaranteed it.
It always rains for the carnival.
Low to mid-80s so far.
Mayor Lesich, sir?
Yes.
Mayor, could you do me a favor and remind the public that early voting starts on July 25th at 8 a.m.?
You know what? August, would you mind if I reminded the public that early voting begins on August 25th?
I would really appreciate you helping me get the word out, yes.
I think August 25th is when early voting starts.
July 25th. July 25th.
Oh, your name is August.
I'm August, yeah. For the August 4th
That's what
election.
I was thinking. Yes, don't.
9 days, Saturdays and Sundays, it's 8 a.m. till 4 p.m., and during the week, it is noon to 8 p.m.
So that's July 25th.
Through August 2nd.
Okay.
Where can early voting happen?
Right here in this very chamber.
Awesome.
Will there be snacks?
There will not for public consumption.
And if anyone wants to bring their AV ballot, they can actually run it through the tabulator.
Yes, they can run it through the tabulator here and watch it go
hybrid
through.
option.
Hey, you
Fill it out
want
at
to
home.
repeat that date one more time?
July
Days and
25th
hours.
through August 2nd, early voting here in City Council chambers.
And the days again? One more time.
Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th, then all week long from noon to 8, and then the next Saturday and Sunday, which I believe is the 1st and 2nd, here from 8 a.m. till noon, or till 4 p.m.
When's Election Day?
August 4th, Tuesday.
Thank you. No early voting on the 3rd.
No early voting on Monday, no.
You can submit your absentee ballot here.
Bring them up here until 8 o'clock on Election Day.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you reminding them that.
And it's on the website.
I'm glad to help you. All right. There you go. Ending it on a light note. Let's go to citizen participation. Anyone in the audience would like to communicate to your city council, please come on up.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Lauren Letzman. I'm the Project Box Coordinator for Macomb County through CARE Southeastern Michigan. A key component of Project Box is educating the community on substance use-related prevention, treatment, and recovery, but also addressing substance-related community concerns. As a substance use disorder provider and prevention provider, our mission is to ensure that our youth don't have access to products that may be harmful to them. You may have noticed that in your community, throughout not only Fraser, but in Macomb County, advertising and selling of products related to kratom and 7-hydroxymetrogenine, which is more commonly known as 7-OH, are very prevalent and gaining a lot of speed. Kratom is a evergreen tree that's derived from the coffee family. It's grown in Southeast Asia. In small doses, kratom acts like a stimulant. In large doses, it acts like a sedative with analgesic properties, and they act on the same receptors in the brain that opioids do. Of particular concern is 7-OH. It's a concentrated synthetic form and has been estimated to be approximately 13 times more potent than morphine and significantly more potent than what is naturally found occurring in the kratom plant. Despite being two different substances, these are widely marketed as just kratom products. Currently, there are no statewide age regulations governing the sale of these products. There are no standardized packaging, listing, potency, dosing, or safety concerns. And despite all of these challenges, there are also no uniform requirements for purity or potency, creating a lot of misunderstanding or gray area with consumers. And there has been legislation that's been introduced in Michigan. It hasn't gone anywhere yet this legislative session, but we're hopeful. There's also been federal regulations where the DEA is looking at scheduling 7-OH and other kratom alkaloids, but nothing has been enacted to date. So in response to these concerns, other Macomb County communities have enacted different ordinances. In Clinton Township, Mount Clemens, and St. Clair Shores, there have been age requirements that they've put in with ordinances, and in Sterling Heights, there's a full prohibition on the sale of kratom products. I would welcome the opportunity to provide more information to City Council and the community members, including the findings of our environmental scans that our team at CARE Southeastern Michigan did earlier this year. And if you have any questions about it, I'd love to answer those now. But
Thank you very much. That Sterling Heights, real quick. Normally we just
I know.
comments, but on the Sterling Heights ordinance, that includes 7-OH
Yes.
and kratom. Okay.
Yes.
And an outright ban on the sale in the city of Sterling Heights.
That's correct.
They're the first ones in the area to do it that way.
They're the first ones in Michigan to do that. Clinton Township was the first to put age restrictions.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Can you send that information to the city manager and ask it be sent to us? Or I think you have our emails as well. You can
Absolutely.
send it to her and CC us too, so we all have it.
Okay.
Thank you. Next.
Maybe. Testing.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is John Vandenheed. I live at 18033 Summer Lane North. And my neighbor to the east of me keeps on calling the police and the city on me about the different things that I do on my property. And I was told the police came out because I had my lights changing colors on my house. Because she called the police. The police came over to turn it down. One of the police officers said he has the same lights on his house. And every other street I drive down, everybody has theirs changing colors. But I can't because she calls the police and the city on me. And the city came out and said that it's a law that you can't have lights changing colors in Fraser. And now when I read it, it sounded like it was businesses, not homeowners. And I'm trying to get that law changed because I like the, changing of the colors because I'm handicapped. It relaxes me. It sounds silly, but it does. And I really, really would like that changed. And if you have any questions for me, I could try and answer them, but I got letters from my neighbors. The one neighbor on the west of me, she's 70-something years old, and she has, she likes it because it's bright. She doesn't know if somebody's coming on the side of her house trying to break in because it's so dark without it, changing color, but it's going to be bright. I mean, the sun is bright. She pulls the shades down when the sun's coming in on her living room or kitchen. Why can't she do it if I'm, have my lights on for, like a half hour, 45 minutes at night? I don't understand that.
Can I ask, Don, is it, if that's the case, wouldn't Christmas lights be banned?
Yep, I cannot. I was told by the code enforcement, because he said I would be ticketed by the police if I have them changing colors. And I was told by him that I couldn't put or oscillating, sorry. And I was told I couldn't put up no Christmas stuff in my front yard. Well, I do it every year because I'm a Catholic and that's what we do. And he told me that they probably wouldn't have the Christmas stuff up. And I know the mayor was talking about going around and seeing everybody's, how they celebrated the 4th of July. I couldn't do that because I was told not to. Otherwise, the police would come and they would ticket me. And I figure if I'm paying my taxes, why am I going to pay a ticket because I want lights changing colors or oscillating?
Mr. Denault? Oh, I think
He's looking.
He's looking.
He's on the hunt.
This one may have to be to be determined. My assumption is it's in the property maintenance code, but I'm going to need some time to find it.
Okay. Can you leave your name with the city manager and we can get an answer, they can get an answer to you?
Yes, that'd be great, yeah.
Yeah, and then share that answer with us too.
Okay. And I have one other thing I wanted to bring up too. A lot of our streets get dirty by our houses, by the curbs. Well, you get the sweeper that comes by. Everybody's parked in the street, so you don't get the front of your house. It's not mine. I'm parking the driveway because we got long driveways. But everybody's parking in front of the houses. Well, the sweeper goes by. He has to go around the vehicles. I'm just wondering, can they figure out, like, hey, we're coming through, like Summer Lane North at a certain day, and everybody needs to be parked in their driveway? I mean, everybody has the same driveway I do. They only have 2 vehicles. My 2 vehicles are always in the driveway. But the dirt sits there, and it gets cruddy and everything else, and there's branches and stuff falling from the tree across the street, and it's just sitting there. So that's the other thing I have.
Thank you. Noted.
Other communities do have those signs up. They'll put up like street sweeping today. That might not solve your problem though, because people just don't seem to care.
People, but
They don't care if
We can't
yours
fix
in
that.
front of your house isn't getting swept.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Laura Lessig, 15201 Fairview. To go along with the carnival coming up next week, you can also go to the carnival and then take a break and go vote and then go back to the carnival. So there you go for the Saturday and Sunday. The curb appeal contest that we established here with the city, Red, White, and You, we had several entries, and at the carnival on Sunday, look for the Fraser First Booster Club tent, which will be near the beer tent, and we'll have the top 10 finalists that we've chosen to represent the city displayed, and people can vote for their favorite as many times as they want for $1 a vote. And all the proceeds from those voting tickets will go towards the Fraser Beautification Club to use for future endeavors with beautifying the city. So we're looking forward to many votes for this. We have the top prizes for this. The top person will get $250 gift cards, a variety of gift cards from the local businesses in Fraser. The second place person or resident will get $100. Third place, $75, and then the fourth, fifth, and sixth winners will get $25 gift cards. The Fraser Beautification Club, along with the Fraser Historical Society, is having their Toodle Tour, which is on Thursday, August 6th, from 4 to 7 at the Baumgartner House through the Samantha. We'll have tours through the Samantha's Gardens, as well as they will do tours of the museum. We will have artists display some of their top or whatever they want to provide us, and we'll have a silent auction on artists' items through there. We have, we'll also have refreshments as well as music to the ambiance of this event, okay? And the next beautification meeting is next Wednesday, the 22nd, at the Ramshorn. We'll probably discuss more about the Toodle and our future projects coming up as well. Fraser First Booster Club, we just had our meeting yesterday for this month, and we chose to not have one in August, but we'll resume meetings in September. Remember, Fraser First Booster Club was instrumental in working on trying to get the Steffens Park reimagination going on in there. So our whole purpose was to institute a amphitheater and space along with the walking path and things like that in Steffens Park. So as Councilman Odell mentioned, do the survey. It's very important, and the survey doesn't have to be all by residents. It can be from surrounding community members, anybody who wants to come to Fraser. Let's see what you want to. Let's hear what you want to see in this park, so we can utilize every minute of every part of it. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak? All right, seeing none,
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second that. Motion by Councilmember Shornack, second by Mayor Lessig to adjourn the meeting at 9:13 p.m. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.